We got to find the person closest to where we are.
I believe those prayers keep them coming.
He dismissed Democrats like Senators Clinton and Obama.
It's like the story of Chelsea Clinton interviewing some Marines returning from Iraq. And she asked one of them the question, what do you fear most? And he, after a thought, said, Osama, Obama, and your mama. Well, I'm not saying that really happened, but that's how I feel.
That's how you feel?
That's right.
And Falwell continued to connect liberal beliefs to Islamic terrorism, such as blaming the attacks of September 11th on the prevalence of abortion in America.
You know, you caused a huge amount of controversy after 9/11 when you basically said that the Lord was removing his protection from America.
I still believe that. I believe that a country that
and that America probably deserved it.
Here's what I said. Well, no, I said that the people are responsible, must take the blame for it.
You did, but you went on to say what I've just said.
We're killing 1 million babies a year in this country by abortion. And I was saying then, I'm saying now, that if we, in fact, change all the rules on which this Judeo-Christian nation was built, we cannot expect the Lord to put his shield of protection around us as he has in the past.
So you still stand by that?
I stand right by it.
Radical opponents had long waged their holy war against abortion clinics.
What the hell was that?
Bombings, arson, assassinations that terrified many women.
We do have one confirmed fatality.
This bombing at a Birmingham clinic killed a police guard. In the mid-90s, from Boston to Florida, angry zealots murdered 7 people, 3 of them doctors. The violence not only frightened a number of abortion clinics into closing, it also caused a public backlash.
Can't be the yelling and the screaming and the bombing abortion clinics and the marching outside and waving. It's got to be the soft but intelligent sell of the facts.
And so the courts became the new battleground over the unborn. But year after year, the religious right lost every Supreme Court decision on abortion. Falwell and others were determined to reverse that, using their political clout to make sure new justices
Do you solemnly swear that
pass the Christian conservative abortion litmus test? The 2 men President George Bush nominated to the Supreme Court, Chief Justice John Roberts
Had a cup of coffee with the nominee.
And Justice Samuel Alito,
I, Samuel A. Alito, Jr., do solemnly swear,
met their test.
The U.S. Supreme Court today handed a major victory to abortion rights opponents.
A month before Falwell died, the Supreme Court, on a 5-4 vote, did put an end to one practice called partial birth abortion. Justice Alito became the decisive 5th vote.
That is the culmination for me of about 35 years of work.
A welcome victory for Jerry Falwell, but not yet enough.
I don't think we have 5 votes on Roe v. Wade. I think we're probably 1 or 2 votes short.
As we talked that last week of his life, Falwell seemed to recognize that his battle to end all abortions would have to be won by the next generation of God's warriors.
My children are more likely to see this victory won than I am. I think we're 50 years away. We've got to just stay with it, stay with it, stay with it, and never give up.
Praise God from whom all blessings flow.
If this graduation sounds like a religious ceremony, in a way it is. This is the first class of lawyers to emerge from Liberty University's new law school. It was Jerry Falwell's final creation, a law school where the 10 Commandments are found carved outside these classroom doors.
This is our Supreme Court room. It's modeled after the United States Supreme Court.
9 chairs for 9 justices, a classroom that's meant to be a clone.
And obviously it's no accident because you want to change what the Supreme Court has ruled on.
And we do. We say that the Supreme Courtroom reflects our supreme vision to restore the rule of law.
Matthew Staver is dean of the law school, a minister who became a lawyer because of abortion. He says no such right is written into the Constitution.
That doesn't sound like a rule of law to me. That sounds like somebody making their own ideology under the guise of the rule of law.
Please be seated.
It is Staver who's training what the late Jerry Falwell called his next generation of pit bulls.
May it please the court.
What are the pit bulls to do?
Well, the pit bulls, according to Dr. Falwell, and really what our vision is to raise a new generation of people that understand the rule of law, that are taught that from our Christian traditions and worldview.
Staver does more than mold minds. He also runs Liberty Council, a legal group which takes its fight over religious freedom into the courts all over the country. Twice he has argued before the real Supreme Court.
Consider adoption. We would love to adopt your little baby.
The first time against restrictions on picketing at abortion clinics. Staver's words that day:
abortion speech or speech about abortion lies at the very core of the First Amendment.
The last time on behalf of the laws of God.
This is the United States Supreme Court when I argued the Ten Commandments case out of Kentucky on March.
At issue, the public display of the Ten Commandments inside a county courthouse. Staver lost in a 5-4 ruling. But there's nothing in the Bible that would say to Staver, "Thou shalt not litigate again." And so, way down on the Suwannee River, Dixie County, Florida has become the dean's new battleground over the Ten Commandments. This 6-ton granite monument carved by the local gravestone salesman sits on the courthouse steps. It is a clear example of what the Supreme Court has disallowed. A standalone monument on government property with an obvious religious message: love God and keep His commandments.
Maybe some of the things in the Constitution need to be changed, such as this right here, you know. I'm not authority on law or nothing like that, but I know for a fact that the people in this county right here are in favor of it.
This time, Staver expects to win. Why?
There's absolutely no question that the court has a different makeup and will likely come to a different decision.
The Supreme Court has become ground zero in this combat between law and religion, the final word on God's place in public life. I went there with CNN's senior legal analyst, Jeffrey Toobin.
So here is this phenomenal bastion of jurisprudence inside of the Ten Commandments.
In several different places, including very prominently on the ceiling of the courtroom.
How do the Ten Commandments get onto the Supreme Court building?
Well, the Constitution has never been interpreted to mean that you could have no reference to God anywhere. I mean, many courtrooms say, "In God we trust."
In God we trust is part of the American dialogue, and yet the religious right would have you believe that there's no mention of God anywhere in our public sphere. It's on the currency.
It's on the currency, and they say, because it's on the currency, there's nothing wrong with it being in the schools, or in the courthouses, or in the Capitol.
But they also play the victim somewhat. Are they victimized?
Well, they feel like they're losing the culture wars. They feel like it's an increasingly secular society, and keeping prayer out of the schools, keeping the Ten Commandments out of the courthouses is part of how they're being victimized.
It's just more of a respect for God.
At Liberty University, twin sisters Mandy and Megan Chapman feel they were victimized by a court ruling against religion. It happened at their graduation in 2006 at Russell County High School, back home in rural Kentucky. Megan was the class chaplain.
My faith is my life. It's what you live by.